Next combo is a bit more unorthodox, but actually works surprisingly well in group situations, and that is the Cookout shotgun and the grenade launcher. It is your light horde clear choice and is designed to deal with chaff, not heavy targets. It can one-tap hunters and warriors, especially if you get all the pellets to land, and this will either kill them outright or let the fire damage drain the rest of their HP away, with the exception of spewer enemies. Even the new Predator brood suffers against this shotgun, and it really shines against Predator hunters in particular. You can literally shoot them once, it will set them on fire, applying a dot, which will then see them quickly burn to their death. So you can essentially just spread this fire damage around with one shot and forget about hunters, because they will die very quickly after they've been hit, which is a great place to be in, folks. Its ability to stagger and crowd control is absolutely insane, and this is where I think a lot of its prowess actually comes from, not to mention that it just feels really fun and effective to play. If you're a Blitzer fan, you will quickly find yourself at home and getting into a rhythm with this weapon. It can bully any chaff enemy and even pushes stalkers around the map, which is another huge win in my opinion. You can also reload one ammo after every shot if you work this in rhythmically. This weapon also does really well at dealing with shriekers, which we affectionately refer to on stream as flappies. Tap them with one shot and set them on fire, and this is always enough to bring them crashing to the ground. Once you get used to the projectile travel time and the speed, you can actually start sniping these annoying suckers from quite far away. The grenade launcher is a premier horde clear choice that allows us to rapidly spam down any group composition as it advances. It is particularly lethal against bile spewers, which compensates nicely for the weakness of the Cookout shotgun, and these are appearing to spawn a lot more since this recent update with the Predator strain emerging. Spamming around 4 well-placed shots into the rear weak spot of a charger will allow us to dispose of these quickly, and if a Bile Titan is a bit damaged, you can also spam these down with the grenade launcher too, which is a nice touch. You can also deal with bug holes, and you can also just generally dispose of most patrols before they even get to you with some well-placed shots. I would again recommend bringing stratagems that deal with heavy targets with this loadout, and ensure that the gas dog and the stun/gas grenades are on duty here to keep the battlefield locked down. A little caveat here, folks, there's also an argument to say that any CC focused primary and support weapon combo could also be benefited by using the laser dog or the regular rover, as there is an argument to say that there may be an instance of what could be referred to as CC overkill, but I think the jury is still out on that one, and I'm still forming my opinion on this as I explore more loadouts. My favorite combo, without a doubt, is the Blitzer shotgun, and it's everybody's favorite cheese cannon, the Quasar cannon, for all the obvious reasons. Infinite ammo, the ability to one-shot Bile Titans, chargers, and impalers, especially when you get them with those cheeky little armpit shots. This just allows you to take the pressure off whenever there's a lot of heavies on the field, and it's a really solid pick in my opinion. It works fantastically well when you're in a group of 4 and you're in communication and you just call out Bile Titan, someone use a Quasar, pop, it's dead. Synchronize this, pick your targets, and you will have a really easy time using this in this loadout, folks. Now, our primary weapon of choice, in case you haven't already guessed, is my overall favorite weapon in the game, the Blitzer. Once again, the stagger and the stun in combination with the gas dog and or the gas or stun grenades are far too good to pass up on when we're fighting this particular variant of Terminid. Now for a bonus tip for the Blitzer, and this is an extract from an older video I made when the Blitzer first got its buff that brought it to its dominance that we see today. Check it out. This next tip, though, is perhaps one of the most game-changing things I learned during my playtesting of this build, and I can't take credit for it, folks. I actually learnt this during a recent live stream where Phase Shift community member Jalon and Crimson advised me not to right-click an ADS when using the Blitzer, and this would take it to the next level. Curious, I took this into some solo runs to test, and oh my word, they were not wrong, folks. By not ADSing the Blitzer, it appears to widen the spread, encouraging it to connect with enemies in a wider arc as opposed to a more focused small frontal cone. What it has revealed is that you can choose between focusing your shots in specific areas of a horde or becoming much more general in your cover of it. In most situations, I would advise using the non-ADS technique, as this is the much more fruitful choice when keeping space between you and your enemies, and it does appear to do more work against large larger volumes of chaff much more quickly. The Halt and the flamethrower. This is an absolute powerhouse combo when it comes to dealing with the new Gloom variants. With insane close range damage, massive stun potential, and medium armor penetration, this weapon is a great choice for keeping the tide of bugs at bay. Supplemented with the flamethrower, which needs no introduction with its ability to melt horde threats extremely effectively and of course deal with charges with ease, this synergistic combo doesn't get as much airtime as it fully deserves. The Halt, an often overlooked primary weapon, comes with two types of ammo, stun and flechette. The stun rounds allow you to lean into a heavy supporting role, stunning horde threats efficiently, and if you can land most of, if not all, your pellets onto a charger, stopping them dead in their tracks, opening them up to a thorough melting from your flamethrower or a barrage of shots from a teammate or even a sentry. More on that in a moment, folks. But it doesn't stop there, because you can also deal very impressive damage utilizing the flechette round, especially when at close range, making this weapon both a CC and damage monster, especially when you get savvy using a cheeky bit of fire mode switching tech, which I will go over in a moment, folks. This was a game changer for me when I was taught this, and it really helps in those high stress situations, so make sure you don't miss that one, folks. It is important to note that the stun rounds do less damage than flechette rounds, so it's important that you take note of this when trying to be efficient. Now, in the Gloom, where damage output and crowd control usually I would say need to be balanced nicely, I actually throw caution to the wind here and love going full support using the Halt for a more CC heavy setup with the gas dog and a gas grenade. But if you want a little bit more damage on the table, the rover and the laser dog are also viable here, folks. That's just what I like to do. And what's also great about the Halt is how well it pairs with sentries. Whether you're rocking a chaff clearing sentry or a heavy duty turret, you can protect it like a pro, especially against those charges. Don't forget, the Halt is super flexible with support weapons, and this is what I love about this weapon. For handling heavies, you could go ahead and grab the Eat, Commando or Quasar, or if you're looking to focus on chaff clearing, dealing with mobs, you can go with what we've already spoken about, the flamethrower. Now, the flamethrower is so reliable when you've stunned a charger, nuking them down quickly. It also helps when you want to try and mop up a damaged Bile Titan when your teammates or yourself can't finish the job in one. Get savvy at stunning and slopping with the flamethrower at the right time, and you will quickly find yourself feeling incredibly confident at clearing the tidal wave of Gloom bugs in this harsh environment. In terms of making your life easier with the hotkey change I mentioned, head over to options and then head down to mouse and keyboard, go over to key bindings, head over to combat, scroll down until you find open weapon wheel, make sure it's set to press, and then make sure that you set it to one of your mouse buttons. For example, that's what I've done, but you could put it on one of your keyboard buttons as well. I've put mine on the side button. Make sure that's set to that, and then head down to where it says weapon wheel right. Again, make sure it's set to press and put that as the same button as what you put open weapon wheel as, and this will give you that ability to switch ammo on the fly really nicely, folks. Before we get into the other choices, it would be incredibly helpful if you could like the video if you're finding it useful and enjoyable. It really helps push the video out there, and having taken a small break from Helldivers 2, this would be super appreciated. Of course, if you're also enjoying the video, please do sub to the channel to keep informed. There's also the Phase Shift Community Discord, which you can join to keep up to date with all things PSC and find groups for a range of games that we cover here, such as Helldivers, Space Marine 2, and other co-op games. Now, back to the video. Next up, the explosive crossbow and the arc thrower. We will talk about the arc thrower in a moment, but first, let's talk about one of the hardest hitting weapons in Helldivers 2, the explosive crossbow. This thing is absolutely cracked, and if you're not using it yet, you're missing out, folks. It's got ridiculous explosive damage, solid ammo economy, and it works against every faction in the game. It doesn't matter if you're up against bugs, bots, or the squids, this crossbow puts in the work. So why is the explosive crossbow so damn good? First of all, the explosion radius is absolutely insane. One shot into a crowd of enemies and you're watching bodies fly everywhere. It's very cool. It 2-shot spewers, 3 shots alpha commanders. It wrecks Bile Titans once they've had their armor cracked. Even chargers don't stand a chance when you start aiming for their weak spots and putting in the work with the explosive bolts. And what's the best part of this? It's one-handed, which means you can keep firing while moving, reload on the go, stay mobile while raining explosions everywhere. It just makes for perfect aggressive play styles. And when you want to pile on the pressure, enemies get locked down very, very quickly. But speaking of locking things down, in terms of my own personal preference, I like to use the arc thrower, as this gives us the ability to deal with the new and regular enemies at long range, and it also offers us even more of that delicious staggering CC that we really need to make the most of allowing us to lock down breaches and large patrols with ease. The arc thrower beams jump to multiple targets, allowing you to very quickly rack up insane kill counts and neutralize threats before they even get to you, folks, and this offers ultimate control of the battlefield. I can't understate this. It is so strong. You can also stun lock chargers, deal with shriekers super easily, which is a really nice touch and something that I think this is better than the flamethrower at. Chert is absolutely cracked against bugs as well, with its savage damage output, rapid rate of fire, and respectable ammo pool, coupled with the ability to shoot out charger weak spots very swiftly. You get an incredible punchy bang for your buck primary weapon. It goes really well in CC heavy loadouts, and I had an absolute blast running this with one of the gas dogs and the MG43. This thing can even dispose of bile titans if you find yourself in a pinch and you're prepared to use a lot of the ammo. Not ideal, but a nice option to have when needs be. The MG43 and the Stalwart have both really impressed me when loadout testing, and I know there's a large divide between which one is better. In my opinion, both are absolutely cracked, and it's more of a choice of what's your favourite flavour. Do you like to be able to be more mobile and quick on the reloads whilst relishing the opportunity to spray down hordes of chaff with ease? Then in that case, the Stalwart with its light armor pen and better ergonomics will be the go-to. However, if you prefer medium armor pen with the ability to absolutely shred alpha commanders, bile spewers, and even do decent work to charge and weak spots, then the MG43 will be the way to go. Just make sure you couple these with decent primaries. I find these both work particularly well with any CC focused primary, or the Scorcher goes absolutely fantastically well with the Stalwart to compensate for the lack of medium pen. Just make sure you turn both onto maximum RPM for the ultimate bullet hell experience. And a little side comment to mention, if you want to have loads of fun, then bring the GAT Sentry and the normal Rover together. It is awesome. Check out this next video. It's got you covered. Take care of yourselves. Keep having fun. Come check out a stream on YouTube or Twitch, and I'll see you in the next one.